You want to understand private access to Azure services, right? It's essential, especially for securing sensitive data and applications. Microsoft Azure offers tools that allow organizations to keep data within their virtual network, drastically minimizing the risk of exposure on the open internet. Today, let's dive into the world of Azure Private Link and private endpoints, which are like a private tunnel linking your Azure services to your on-premise network or virtual network without traversing the public internet. These technologies facilitate secure connections to a variety of Azure services such as SQL database, storage, and Cosmos DB, ensuring enterprises can operate safely. Let's start with Azure Private Link. Imagine it's a way to tether your virtual network directly to Azure services. It gives you complete control over access and visibility into your Azure resources. No matter where you are connecting from or to, data flows securely without leaving the Microsoft cloud, bypassing the traditional public internet route. This approach provides the simplicity of service access with granular control and enhanced security for enterprise-grade deployments. When setting up your infrastructure, you begin by creating a virtual network, a private link, and, if needed, a private endpoint. The virtual network functions as a secure, private cloud within Azure, isolating workloads from the internet. The private link essentially connects your virtual network to the Azure services, allowing for direct, private, traffic flow. It bypasses the need for a public IP address, which is both a security benefit and a convenience to avoid public address hopping. Moving on to the private endpoint, this is where things get specific. A private endpoint is like a dedicated gateway in the Azure environment that creates a direct and private connection from your on-premise or virtual network to Azure services. It doesn't use public IPs anymore. A private endpoint is a VNet-located instance of an Azure service that you expose as private access over your VNet using the Network Security Group outbound port rules to allow private endpoint access while protecting your infrastructure from unwanted inbound connections. Let's talk about how this helps in an enterprise setting. Say you are creating a compliance solution where your data shouldn't leave your Azure environment. Azure Private Link and private endpoints allow you to deploy your workloads with the utmost security, confident that all data and connections stay within the bounds of Azure's private network. Plus, because you are not touching the internet, you can implement a zero-trust networking model as an added layer of protection. This can be incredibly valuable for regulated industries like healthcare or finance. Designing your architecture needs thoughtfulness and a strategic approach. Consider your workload types, performance needs, and, most importantly, security requirements. Remember, it's all about ensuring that your sensitive data isn't just somewhere, but in an environment where it's safe and compliant with necessary regulations. While Azure Private Link excels in providing secure access to a variety of services, it has its niche where it's most powerful. For example, with Azure Functions, Private Link gives you not only secure access to your functions but also the ability to monitor the performance directly. Access is always through a secure, direct connection, which is invaluable for maintaining high-quality application performance and uptime. But Azure private endpoints are where you can take data security a step further. If you need a private connection for some specific services that are available through a private link endpoint, or you are looking to securely access services with a single sign-on mechanism, private endpoints are for you. They provide that extra isolation and tight integration into your existing infrastructure. Plus, for storage resources, being able to connect with Azure storage account via a private endpoint can really streamline data transfer and ensure data sovereignty. Now, let's not overlook Azure Cosmos DB. This globally distributed, multimodal database could use Azure Private Link to enhance security for your NoSQL workloads, maintaining seamless interaction while ensuring compliance. Imagine being able to deploy applications anywhere with no extra steps for access. That's the promise and power of Azure Private Link. It's a way to ensure consistent experiences across services without impacting performance. Once your private links and endpoints are in place, there's the art of ensuring they're running smoothly. Advanced troubleshooting comes next. But don't worry, Azure has monitoring tools like Azure Monitor and Network Watcher that work hand in hand with private links. They provide insights into traffic flow and access patterns, letting you tweak your configurations for optimized performance and security. It's all about using these tools and best practices to ensure not only compliance but also operational efficiency. Whether you are troubleshooting connectivity issues or improving your service deployment speed, understanding how to implement Azure Private Link and private endpoints is a game changer for managing Azure services. In closing, I encourage you to take a deep dive into Azure Private Link and private endpoints, for it's an avenue to secure service connections and meet the best practices for enterprise-grade deployments. If you are eager to learn more and streamline your Azure networking, let's connect. Visit Neeraj at qzz.io and subscribe to TechLab for a wealth of resources and expert guidance. Let's keep our networks secure and efficient together.